But of course, Stephano, extremely good at being reactive, thinking on his feet, and doing the right thing. Now, let's take a look up here in the top left. Our blue Zerg from Germany, he is...
Liquid TLO from Europe.
And down in the bottom right, our red French Zerg, one of the winningest players of all time, he is...
Stephano Raycall from Europe.
All right, so I don't know who's going to end up winning this, because if we take a look back, TLO had a cool strat for game number 1, taking the quick third and doing the big Zergling counter push after holding off the attack of Stephano. And, you know, Stephano kind of was caught off guard. He didn't have a lot of lings. He was trying to just rally lings out, but he wasn't able to, because he didn't have the lings at home, because he already expended them in an attack and tried to drone behind it. He didn't have any banelings, and that was the key point of that game. Now the last game that we just saw, as I just said, you know, the key point was he stalled it long enough to get his roaches out to stop it. And the thing is, it can go either way in these scenarios. Like, if Stephano decides to make, in the first game, you know, if he already had another set of lings at home and morph banelings as he saw lings move across the map, then suddenly he holds his third, and who knows what happens. Anything could have happened that game. And then, of course, if he didn't stall TLO out at all and he had hit a little bit quicker with that attack, if those roaches had been a little bit slower, or he didn't stall them, either way, but especially the roaches being a bit slower, then TLO would have won that second game. So it just comes down to, what are these guys going to end up choosing to do? And we already see that Stephano is taking that slightly safer approach. Pool into hatch is basically the safest ZVZ opening. TLO a slight bit riskier with his hatch before pool, but that matches up really well against what Stephano opened up with. He does have this slight edge here, but if they both progress completely normally with those types of aggression, they'll end up at a very similar place in a few minutes here. Alright, so TLO, I'm actually a little bit surprised that we don't see any gas from yet. Okay, there we go. He does throw down that gas. Now, a lot of the times you will see the gas come up a bit quicker from the hatchery first player, just to make sure that they don't get behind in that regard. But it's actually okay that he got it this slow this time. It points towards the fact that he could be a bit more defensive. It gives him more minerals, so he can get his queens out a little bit more fluidly. He can get a few more drones out, a few more minerals, and work on his economy a bit more. Now, of course, that doesn't mean he's not going to get aggressive after he hits the little peak it gives him. He could choose to just turn on that aggression, but Stephano has a lot of information with his overlords, seeing how much gas he has and how much he's mined. So Stephano, we see he is droning right now. Will he put on aggression? Because he's still mining gas. He can throw down a Baneling Nest and move over there, knowing that his opponent can't get Banelings and Speedlings before the attack. But instead, he throws down an Evolution Chamber. So I think he's going to go ahead and get an upgrade for his Zerglings and maybe go into a third base reasonably quickly. Because, you know, the upgrade takes a while to kick in, and when the third base type situation happens in ZVZ, it's almost always Lings and Banelings against Lings and Banelings. And if you have one more upgrade than your opponent, you're going to end up winning that unless something crazy happens. Now there you go, it is that +1 carapace, as it should be. We have the Baneling Nest for TLO. And he is making some Zerglings here. And he does have that second gas now. And actually, he messed up. He's only mining with it from one drone. 2 drones are idle behind it. This is a huge, huge deal for TLO. He is actually, like, drastically messed up. Now, this may have been a fake, this drone down here, because it looks to me like he wants to basically go all in with Ling Bane, but he's not mining with 2 of his drones behind his geyser, which we haven't shown you yet. And see there, behind that geyser, the entire time they've been back there. So he has far less gas than he should have right now, which is brutal for what he's trying to do. TLO can't be happy with that. In fact, I see a nice set of drones being made right here. So it looks like he's going to maybe alter his strategy from here. I'm not completely sure on that. All right, okay, so this is where it gets a little bit wild. We have that +1 finishing up, not quite yet. We should see a battle before then. And in fact, TLO making quite a few banelings. Notice where he put them. That's going to be harder for the Lings of Stephano to get good surface area on his Banes, so more are going to finish because of this. Brilliant location for TLO. He's really studied the map very well. And there you go. He gets 5 of them, in fact 6 of them got to morph because of where he morphed them. Now, this is so deadly from TLO. Now, remember, he doesn't have quite as much gas as he should, so he may have wanted even more Banes, but right now he's doing a pretty good job. But Stephano's buying a lot of time right now. Notice his Baneling Nest not quite done. He's getting another Spine as well, and those are both going to be super helpful. And it finishes right before those Banes get in, and he actually missed targets slightly there. You really want them... Oh, that was a good Baneling explosion. Oh, my God. But you want both of them targeting Banelings instead of Zerglings there, so a little tiny mistake. And now he has killed 8 drones and a lot of Zerglings. TLO has a 20 supply lead and is going to make a hatchery while continuing to put on that pressure. Because even though there's a couple of spines, he knows that Stephano has to take a third pretty quickly here or attack him. And against both those, continue to make Lings and Banes are going to be... It's going to be a great choice, basically. So Stephano's doing a counterattack, and TLO, this means that he can attack in and there's going to be less Lings. But that was a little bit sloppy with those Banes. He's lost quite a few with no damage. Does get that one creep tumor, which is actually nice because of the Queens. And he's dealing a lot of damage here right now. It's starting to look like TLO is not going to be stopped, even though Stephano has those extra upgrades. And... oh, that was a really nice explosion. No, he actually hit X in the middle of both those structures, so he could deal a lot of damage to both, and he didn't have to move his Lings to have the Banelings do the connection. And this is basically it. TLO is not going to be broken. Stephano has the better upgrades, but he only has the one hatchery, so he actually just can't produce enough right now. The only advantage that Stephano has is that 1-1. So TLO knows this. He's turtling up. He should be making Banelings at home. He should be making Spines at home. It's fine for him to sit on 2 base for this moment. But Stephano has to get something done. And I'm not sure what that something should be. And in fact, notice how TLO is starting to make kind of a building wall because he realizes that, you know, Stephano, what can he do here with 1 hatchery production for the next few minutes? TLO making nothing but Lings and Banes, as long as there aren't extremely lucky Banelings for Stephano. And, well, by lucky, that's TLO messing up or Stephano having really great skill, of course. But as long as that doesn't happen, TLO's huge supply lead is going to make all the difference. And that supply lead is only 8 drones, so he's still up by a lot of supply. So, these Banelings, that is a lot of Banelings. Now, if Stephano can split his Banelings very well against this is actually really good by Stephano so far, I would say. And I think he can't be too sad with that. That was a ton of Banelings from TLO, and all they did was end up hitting some units, and his own Banelings did a good job against him as well. So TLO going to force this cancel, which is good and important. But he hasn't taken his third. He's turtled at home, which it looks like Stephano has basically guessed he would do. And that's why he's taking the 3 bases. So now if Stephano can somehow... Ooh, that was really nice. That wasn't a cancel at all. That was a kill. So if Stephano can get his 3rd base up, or just get his production back, he does still have that 1-1 unit upgrade advantage, so maybe he can still get something done. Okay, so 3rd base location for TLO right now. That's kind of interesting as well. We're much more used to it going into the other location. This might be to throw Stephano off so he's less likely to scout it, so TLO doesn't have to stay so defensive. He can stay a little bit more offensive because it's kind of hidden. Now, TLO just has so many Lings right now. It's actually 29 to 14 to give you an idea of the difference. He's also way up in drones, so you can really see the production of Stephano, how badly it's been hurt. He's almost got 1,000 minerals. He's hitting his injects, trying to spend his money, but it's pretty rough. I would have liked to see even a macro hatch going up. Wow, really good transfuses. Stephano was trying to clear himself a path for a later attack there. Not quite working, but this all comes down to the fact that Stephano literally can't spend his money because he went down to that one hatchery for so long. If he had 1,400 minerals worth of Zerglings and drones right now, this game would not look like this, where TLO is just running in here and like trading however he can, just because he has so much more larvae. So all these Banelings be morphed and just walking in. As long as he's walking them in pairs of 2 like this, it can't go that bad. And in fact, it is not going that bad. He's hitting anything at the... Oh, wow, that was an insanely good Baneling right there. But, you know, TLO continues to just kind of march up with his huge larva lead. So, looks like Stephano is just about dead at this point. 29 supply to 80, even with these 1,400 minerals. Just not much that can be done, even if he's stabilized here. So he should be saying GG, or probably grats. There you go, GG. And TLO actually takes out Stephano 2-1 there. Probably surprises a lot of people, but TLO is getting better and better and better. Really good mindset. He has to be very, very happy with this. Going to the loser bracket, he would have to play against Alive. And, you know, of course, playing Sulky isn't that good, but it's kind of better to go up and lose to Sulky and let Alive and Stephano kind of wear each other out a bit more before the next match. And the thing is, he's going to get to see another Alive TVZ, so he's going to have 2 best-of-3 TVZs to work off of to see if he's going to play him in that last match, if he loses to Sulky, of course. So great play by TLO, very nice snipe there. Just a really good job overall. He played a very good series. It was some actually pretty fun ZVZ, I would say. I liked Stephano's idea of that +1 carapace, but TLO just hit him exactly at the right time. The one thing that I guess I would have liked to see from Stephano, I didn't think of it at the exact time, to try to come back, he went directly into retaking his natural and taking his third. Looking back, I would have actually liked to see him just throw a macro hatchery in his main as well, because if he had those extra larvae, I think it could have gone differently. Like, he was a little bit mineral tight at first, and then the minerals built up, but what if he had had that? Because the third kept getting canceled, so he never got up to enough larvae to actually spend all the money he banked while he didn't have enough larvae. So I think the game could have maybe looked different, because he did have that 1-1 upgrade advantage for so long, and TLO never really focused on taking that third base. So, yeah, that was a pretty fun match overall. I hope you guys are enjoying my my solo commentary here. I'll be doing it all day. So we're going to go ahead and jump to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with the next match, and that's going to be Sulky against TLO. So don't go far. We'll be right back.
Your feet on the ground.